I Ching Weekly Guidance. Unlock the hidden wisdom and your energy boost. This is your path to clarity. So this is a weekly I Ching reading for you. My forecast for 2024, still, week 53, on how to transform your life with the daily wisdom of I Ching. So what we learn here is what the energies of the year, the month, and then every single day of this week may bring. What is the energy that is given, and what can we best make of it? How to use the energies that are present for our success, our well-being, our personal path, everything that you ever wanted. Sounds a lot? Wow, okay. So as always, I promised you an experience from me with last week's I Ching, and it was Thursday, to Earth, if you remember, receiving, and it was really interesting. I looked into that and I listened to myself again, and I just, for the whole morning, I thought, no, there's nothing in it for me today, and whatever. And then in the afternoon, I really received an idea, and I could write, and I have written some of the video scripts on that day, and it just did flow. It was really amazing. So it's about receiving. It's about really being open to whatever comes. And sometimes it's not the time for it. But sometimes, like on a day that has receiving, or a receive day in the 12-day offices, for that matter, then that's when it happens. And especially if you don't try to force it, if you're just open for it, then it comes much easier. And that's what happened for me on the Thursday. So let's see, how do we best raise our energies this week according to the I Ching. The year is still 38, integrity. Some call it opposition. And I've been talking a lot about that one. It's about how to tolerate the otherness of the counterpart in conflicting times, which we obviously have. And stay true to oneself. So that's why I call it integrity. So staying true to yourself is really the main thing this year, to your opinions, to what you believe in. And that's what's happening out there. You can see that. So it's really about integrity and staying true to yourself. It's about focus also. So the last month, really still stay focused. Prepare for what's to come. And if you need to make a decision, and I personally expect next year to have a lot of decisions on the path, but if there's a solution to find, a decision to make, always choose the one with the highest integrity. Always do. This is the path. Really stay true to yourself. The month energy, well, it's the last week with 27 Nourish, Mountain and Thunder, how to imprint your life through all those daily tasks. Good as well as bad. I always ask the question here, what does nourishment mean to you? Define it. And if you've read the book Atomic Habits or any similar books like that, this is what I mean, daily tasks. And see which daily tasks do nourish you and which don't. Do more of those and less of those. That's what it is. So this is the last month. So soon we will go into a different month energy, but we're still with Nourish, so it's the time of the year for that, isn't it? Okay, so let's look into the day energy. So today, Sunday, it's 41, decreasing. Right, correct. Diminishing, decreasing. So it's how to use a voluntary limitation to prevent unintended sacrifices on a larger scale. So the unintended, so that's what I always say, when I talk about decreasing, people are like, oh my God, it's decreasing, it's going down. What do you want to diminish in your life? It's a good day. It's been talking about voluntary limitation, yes, but limitation as in, what do you want to limit? What is out there in your life? I mean, in combination with 27 nourishing, the month energy, what is nourishing you? What do you want to decrease? This is the day on the Sunday. Really, less is more. Steady wins. Steady. What do you say? Slow and steady wins the race. You say. So yes, that's what it is. That's really interesting. This is happening this Sunday. Ask yourself, what can go? What do you want to keep? And it's the time of the year to do that anyway. So it's a good day on the Sunday to do that. Let's look at the hours. Wonderful hours. Yes, good hours also for diminishing. Yep. Especially midday. Use it. use it. Monday, the 30th, is number 10. Some call it tread. I like to call it continuing with alertness. That's what it also means. So how to find an appropriate form of expression in the company of others. So especially if you look at what I said of the year energy, it's about staying with integrity. So whenever you are in the opposition, find an appropriate form of expression. If you act aggressively, that somehow shows that there's a conflict inside of you. So ask yourself, if you have a certain point of view or an opinion on something, is this really something you need to voice right now? And if it comes over in an aggressive way, it's never a good way. Then you should also ask yourself, is this really my opinion, or did I take that on from someone else? Who knows? It's about how to deal with weaker individuals with, in our eyes, weaker opinions. Do we really need to have an opinion on anything? And if we do we really need to voice that? So on the Monday, that would be something to really ponder upon and look inside of yourself. What is an appropriate expression for you? And then on the Tuesday, 31st of December, we're having 34 great strength. And great strength, maybe you need that on the day, who knows? It's how to stay in strength to serve the greater good with sincerity and honesty. So what are your plans for New Year's Eve? Ask yourself, what are your plans? It's about being honest. So again, the whole theme, integrity, comes in this week, it seems to me. So stay with the integrity, and if you want to say no to something, then just do it. And if you want to say yes to something, say it with all of your heart, with all of your heart. That's what's the best to do. Wonderful. And then New Year's Day, January 1st, we're having 32 consistency, perseverance, thunder on wind. So it's about creating a sustainable foundation. What a thing to do on New Year's Day. By knowing what to keep and what to renew. So there is, I think the whole week is a theme of what to keep and what to renew. What is nourishing me, what is not nourishing me. Declutter, sort yourself out. Declutter brings growth. So sizing, merging, whatever you want to call it, what to keep, what to let go. On a consistent path, and that's why it has to do with consistency. On a consistent path, some things need to go at times to stay consistent. So keeping everything as it is means being stagnant. And that's not what I mean when I'm talking about consistency. Consistency is not stagnation. It's a different path. The consistency means you consistently are evolving, as in letting go, taking on new things. So New Year's Day would be probably a good day, if you haven't done it yet, to look into what do you want to keep and what do you want to let go. Maybe there's something new you want to take in. Wow, who knows? And that's on the New Year's Day. Oh, that's really funny / amazing thing to do. January the 2nd, conflict, litigation, how to deal with situations where the involved parties drift apart. So maybe you found out what you want. Maybe you found out what nourishes you and someone else is not on the same path with you. So see what you can do with that, not arguing. It's an engagement in conflict, it's also called. It's about how do you engage. And maybe that comes together with what did we have before, the great strength. No, the tread. The number 10, exactly. Continuing with alertness, the appropriate form of expression. If you have found out what your appropriate form of expression is, this is what you can use then on the number 6 conflict on Thursday, the 2nd of January, to actually engage in a conflict. Not just argue, not just stay in the opposition. Realize, please, we're slowly going out of the opposition. It's just 1 month and a few more days until we will have a change in the year energy. And I think that's already looming. So we're not in the opposition that hard anymore. It's going to change. It's going to change. And I'm looking forward to that. And I'm going to tell you soon what it's going to be. So then we're going to Friday, the 3rd of January. And that is number 7, which is usually called officer. I also like to call it strategy or teamwork. It's coming from the old reading is officer, the army. But what really is behind that word is bringing together. And it's also teamwork and it's strategy. So how to bring many different impulses and directions into one common goal. So maybe there was an argument the day before. Maybe there was a conflict the day before. So now is the day on the Friday to actually sit together and say, hang on, so we can't work like that. How do we evolve together? How do we progress together? How do we carry on together? That would be the Friday. How to bring many different impulses together. What's the common goal that we have? How do we bring order or discipline into what we want to have, into our goals? That is something on the Friday, really to sit together and say, okay, how can we carry on together? And the funny thing is that on the Saturday, we've got, 53 gradual progress. So that means there will be a success if you actually sit together and say, so I don't want to fight anymore. I want to work together on our progress, on our goals. And then on the Saturday, we're having 53 gradual progress. Development is an auspicious outlook. So how persistence, diligence, and patience enable slow and steady progress and inner maturity. And isn't inner maturity something you always want to see if there is an argument, if there's a fight, if there's a opposition, if there's a conflict somewhere? So this is the day to actually look into that. How can we carry on? The gradual progress is coming. So maybe it's slow and steady, but that's better than none, isn't it? And then on the Sunday the 5th of January, we are actually changing the month energy from 27 Nourish to 17 following, but more to that in my next video, in next week's video. Let's just look at the day energy. The day energy is 39 Obstruction. So it's also called halting. So water on mountains. So it has a little bit to do with staying a bit more calm, and the water is above, also the emotions. So how to use an obstacle to turn one's attention inwards and find the core. Inwards turning always when mountain is involved is always a good idea. And how to use that, whatever you find, the obstruction that you find, for your progress. Again, so I think the second half of the week is more under the sign of progress and evolving. Which I love. So the new year starts with that, and that's a beautiful thing to do, isn't it? So really looking inside, maybe meditating. So we have Sunday. What are good meditation hours? Oh yes, from 9 to 11 in the morning and in the evening, actually. And the rest of the day, well, 5 to 7 would be also nice. To meditate. What's the general? Oh, it's a receive day. And I talked about receiving energy before, didn't I? So it's a receive day, and it's an auspicious day. You've got Green Dragon. So it is actually a good day to overcome that obstruction. So use that looking inside and the meditation and the pondering about everything I've said and everything what has been in the last week, month, year, to actually overcome that possible obstruction that's standing in your way. Here we go. Another exciting week to come, isn't it? I love it. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. The first half has a slightly different energy than the second half of the week, as it seems to me. But it is about overcoming. It's about getting rid of what you don't want anymore, what is nourishing you, what is not, and what to keep, what to let go, which is an amazing theme for this time of the year anyway. And the obstruction that may come up is on a successful day, so it is the time to let that go as well. Well, letting go, letting go, letting go. And I'm letting you now go. But if you like what you've seen and heard, like it, comment, flick me an email, whatever you want. And I see you again next year in the new year. Oh, next year, yes, next week, next year, next week, next month, next week. All of those things. Bye for now.